Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions, is brought to you by Newport-Fersan Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
It is now time for Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions. This morning we're joined by Sajae Jones, agronomist out of Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Sajae, good morning and welcome to the show. Welcome back. How are you?
Good morning, out there. Good morning, listeners. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And you?
I am great. I'm great. All right, let us greet as well Cleveland Walsh, agronomist for St. Anne, St. Catherine, and Clarendon. Cleveland, good morning. Welcome to Farm Talk. How are you?
Good morning, Althea. I am doing good. And you?
I am great. Good to have you on as well. A little bit later on, we will be joined by a farmer, Sharon Black, out of Salt Pond in St. Catherine. But, Sajay, let us ask you to get the ball rolling. This morning, we're taking a look at healthy crops, healthy harvest, combating viruses in crop production. So, what exactly, Sajay, are plant viral infections and why are they such a big problem? Why should we be paying attention to it, whether we're farmers or not?
Well, plant viral infections are caused by viruses that invade plant cells. What they do is that they disrupt the growth and reduce the quality and yield of your produce. These viruses spread through insect vectors like your aphids and your whiteflies, and also through mechanical means. Once they are inside the plants, there is no cure for them. What they will do is they will hijack the plant cells and reproduce, leading to severe agricultural losses. It is also well documented that globally, viruses can cause up to 50% of yield losses in infected crops. They are responsible for 20 to 40% of all crop production losses worldwide. Economically speaking, plant viruses can cost the global agricultural sector tens of billions of dollars annually. And we can have some examples of this. In Africa, $2 billion in losses is documented annually due to the cassava mosaic virus. Moving over to Asia, the rice tundra virus can cause up to $1.5 billion in losses per year. The bunchy top virus can cost hundreds of millions of dollars annually in Africa and Asia. The maize streak virus can reduce yields up to 90%. Weight losses, when it comes to tomato, can go up to 80%, totaling millions of metric tons globally as food demand rises. So we can see that these are not costing thousands of dollars, they're costing millions of dollars, and not millions of dollars in Jamaican dollars.
Billions of dollars in US dollars.
In US dollars.
And of course, the terrible thing about this is that typically you can't get rid of a plant virus once a plant is infected. There is no cure, as I understand it, for viruses, and that is a major challenge, which is why we have to ward off or protect ourselves from them, right?
Yes, this is exactly right. And that's why we do a preventative approach, and we also do an approach that is curative. And when we do this curative approach, well, let's not jump the gun, we'll get to it.
All right, no problem. All right, so let me go to Cleveland. Cleveland, what are some of the most common viruses affecting crops in our region?
All right, so let me just run through a few of them because there are so many. And here, what you might find locally, one of these viruses, which is our sweet potato chlorotic stun virus, right? So this virus is characterized by a purpling that you will see intraveinally. So between the veins, you see this purpling chlorosis between the leaves. And what this does is that it causes severe stunting, it causes leaf purpling chlorosis, and it causes overall yield loss of up to 90% in some cases. Also, in sweet potato, you might have the sweet potato fusarium mottle virus, right? And this causes purpling of the leaves, purpling blotches. So what they look like are like small concentric circles, purple circles, right? And within the circle, you'll have the greenness of the leaf, but there's this purple outlining on the leaf, right? And I'm sure a lot of farmers might see this one within their potato crop, right? So it causes mild to severe stunting, and for both viruses, they are transmitted predominantly by whiteflies and aphids. Moving on to our tomato spotted wilt virus. Now, this virus is predominantly seen in tomato and sweet pepper. Now, most of our sweet pepper farmers would have seen this at some point within their crop, right? So this is a highly destructive virus that affects tomato and many other crops. It is transmitted predominantly by thrips, right? So it causes leaf curling, it causes wilting, it causes necrosis and bronzing, scarring of the leaves. What you might also see is that it affects the fruit as well. So there are concentric ring spots and browning of the fruit wall, right? So another virus that, and these viruses I've seen them locally, so I know most of our farmers can relate, is the pepper leaf curl virus, right? The pepper leaf curl virus is a disease transmitted by whiteflies, and it affects many varieties of peppers. So you'll see it in your scotch bonnets, your red peppers, your sweet peppers, right? And it causes severe upward curling, and it causes crinkling of the younger leaves. You're gonna see reduction in the leaf size, and it appears narrow, causes the leaf to have a narrow appearance, right? It also results to delayed flowering and delayed fruit set. Now, this virus that I'm about to discuss next, our onion and scallion farmers need to have a handle on this virus, right? It is called the iris yellow spot virus. And a lot of times farmers might see this virus within the field thinking that it is a fungus, right? So it's a serious pathogen, and it is transmitted by thrips, right? So its symptoms include elongated yellow straw-colored lesions on the leaf. So they'll have this circular look on the leaves, right? This discoloration, which eventually becomes necrotic, right? So it's diamond or spindle shaped, often near leaf tips or margins, right? So these lesions may turn brown or necrotic over time, as stated, and leaf dieback and desiccation in severe cases, right?
There's a lot going on out there, a lot for the farmers to wrap their minds around. But thankfully, Sajae, you have in your lineup Star Virucide. Just tell us what this is and how effective is it in combating viruses in a crop system?
Yes, we do. Let's break it and take it from 3 points so we can better understand it. What it is, how it works, and we can even touch on the environmental effect it has. So the Star Virucide is a broad spectrum organic virucide. It is formulated to shield plants from viral infections while boosting their resistance to those viruses. It is composed of a blend of rare herbs engineered to halt viral spread swiftly, resulting in fresh virus-free growth and improving yields, right? Now, it works by entry and translocation. The product enters the plant through the stomata and moves via the vascular bundles into the plant system, right? It then encapsulates. Once it's inside the infected cell, the star encapsulates the virion particle, inhibiting their ability to propagate or to reproduce, right? What it does next, it restores conductivity. It clears the black conductive tissues which viruses often obstruct, enabling the plants to resume their normal function as new leaves emerge virus-free. Now, this period is normally effective for up to 15 days, and this is a key part of the STAR. We need to understand that it should not go beyond 2 weeks without you applying this product based on how it works, because it will always encapsulate and make the virus dormant. And if we have new insects coming into the field and putting in new virus into the plant, then we'll have to have some more STAR there to make that virus dormant again. When it comes down to the economical aspects of it, the STAR is designed to be residue free for farming, as it doesn't leave any chemical residue on the crop or the soil, making it safer for the human element and also for a friendly organism.
All right. So, not only are we trying to ensure that the farmers understand the challenge, but you are, of course, actively out there working in the field to provide the solutions for them. Let me bring Cleveland back in. Cleveland, in addition to the Star Virucide, what can farmers do regarding nutrition to combat plant viruses? Because my understanding is that how you feed the plant is also critical.
Yes, Asia. So, from a nutritional standpoint, what farmers should do in combating viruses is really to ensure that your plants have all the access to the essential nutrients needed for plant growth, right? So this will allow the plants to be healthy and stress-tolerant crops, right? Now, I'll use an illustration of a house to give some clarity. So if a house is built without the proper proportion of sand, steel, cement, gravel, right, what you will find is that in the event of an hurricane or any natural disaster, that house will not be able to withstand any forces imposed upon it, right? In a matter of fact, it might fall apart before you even have any occurrence of any natural disaster, right? It's the same thing with plants. So plants need all the essential nutrients to have strong tolerance to extremities, right, which lie in wait for them. So elements such as your calcium, your phosphorus, your boron, your zinc are very crucial for your plant's resistance to viruses, right? And here at Newport-Fersan, the approaches you can take in providing all the essential nutrients to your plant include our precise nutrient management approach, as well as our improved nutrient management approach. Right. With our precise nutrient approach, it involves having a soil test done, and that allows us to have an analysis of what the nutrients are, right, which need to be supplemented to the crop. And in regards to our improved approach, it allows the farmer to provide all the necessary nutrients at the appropriate stage of development for your crop.
And of course, this is beneficial for the farmers because feeding the crops well means that they will have better results all around. Gentlemen, we're on the break, so we're going to take that when we come back. Sajae, I'm asking you to touch on the impact that planting material can have on the viral load, and we'll also hear from our guest farmer, Sharon Black. Let's take the break.
Farmers! Are diamondback moths, cabbage loopers, armyworms, budworms, cutworms, melonworms, aphids, leaf miners, whiteflies among those pests threatening to strike your crop? Well, wait no longer. Strike first with First Strike Insecticide from Newport-Fersan, Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
All right, so we are inside the feature Fersan in the field, real issues, real solutions. And this morning we have with us Sajae Jones, and he is agronomist with responsibility for Manchester and St. Elizabeth. He's joined by the agronomist for St. Anne's and Catherine and Clarendon, Cleveland, Walsh. And in just a minute, we will engage in conversation, just a few minutes actually, we'll engage in conversation our guest farmer. But before we do that, let me just get some additional information, which I know is critical to helping our farmers to better understand the issue that we're discussing this morning and what they can do to ensure they don't find themselves in that position, or if they do, they know exactly what to do. All right, so Sajae, what impact does planting material have on the viral load of these viruses in plants?
Well, it has a great deal of impact, as virus resistance starts with good genetics and clean seed or transplant. Many of the modern varieties come with resistance or tolerance to specific viruses. Using certified virus-free planting material is non-negotiable, right? As resistant varieties can fight off infections and may show few or no symptoms, while tolerant varieties can still get infected but suffer as much, but will not suffer as much yield losses, right? It's important to know that when you're buying, you need to know which varieties, or you need to know where you're getting the varieties from. You need to ensure that you're getting clean planting materials, right? You buy from certified suppliers, such as your Bodos will supply clean planting material for sweet potatoes. And if you are collecting planting materials, you must avoid seeds from infected fields. And when using cuttings like cassava and potato, make sure that they come from the mother plant that is healthy and that is monitored. They want to ensure that it is not only one that looks healthy, but one that you are treating and one that you are monitoring to ensure that there are no viral signs or symptoms in the field.
Right. So very, very important that the farmers then they use and follow the protocols. They understand what is going on. How do they identify what is going on with the plant, and then of course use your Star Virucide to assist them to bring that
Yeah,
viral load down. Well, we're joined now by Sharon Black, who is a farmer out of Salt Pond in St. Catherine, to tell us what her experience has been. Miss Sharon, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. How about you?
I am great. Happy to have you on with us. Happy to hear your story. What kind of crop farming are you doing?
So I'm doing watermelon.
Watermelon.
Watermelon?
And
Yes.
how long have you been doing watermelons?
I have been doing that since March of this year.
What prompted you to get into that side of the agricultural sector?
Can you say that for me?
What prompted you to get into growing watermelons?
What farm? I'm missing a part of your sentence.
I'm asking you what prompted you to get into growing watermelons. What caused you to
Okay.
decide to make that decision?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. So my brother have been cultivating watermelon for a while now, a couple years now. And I did went to agriculture school, so I'm really interested in agriculture for a long time. However, I didn't have the access to the land to do it. I finally get access to the land now. So I get to do what I really and truly love, which is farming.
So you had the plans there from a long time, and
Yes,
you're just now getting
definitely.
to execute.
Yes, most definitely.
And what's the size of the property on which you're growing the watermelons?
It's approximately around 12 acres.
Oh, that's huge.
Yes.
So you can do more than watermelons, and hopefully you're doing more than watermelons. That being
Yes,
said,
but
though, what? Go ahead.
no, you go ahead. You're
All
going to
right.
ask.
I was going to ask about Star Virucide and the work that you're doing with the use of Star Virucide, because I understand you use it in your operations. First of all, what did you notice happening? Why you made this decision to use Star Virucide, or why you were advised to use Star Virucide?
All right. So at first we noticed that the watermelon had some yellowing of the leaves and some deformity, which is the same as the curling virus. So I reached out to my agronomist, of course, Mr. Walsh, and he came and take a look at it, and then he recommended for us to use the Star Virucide, and we have been using it. Every time we spray, we would normally use it because what it does is controls the virus from spreading to the other watermelons from the ones that it would be currently on. Then after a while, you'd notice that it's just on the older leaf. You'd have the new leaf coming out without any on it. So it does control the virus. So we don't really have a lot of spread because we use the Star Virucide to control it.
And this is important. If you think about your own background and knowledge and what it is that you learned in school, then you understand the importance of bringing the virus under control so that you can actually get a good crop. So are you hoping, are you expecting to have a bumper crop?
Yes, definitely. And I would recommend this to all farmers that are planting watermelon because the curling virus is popular right now. So I would recommend for them to use it from there basically in the trade if you are doing trade.
Well, I like the enthusiasm when I ask about the bumper crop and you say, yes, definitely. So I wish you all the best going forward, Sharon, in everything that you do. And at some other point in time, I would like to have an extended conversation with you. Thanks much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Sharon Black there, farmer out of Salt Pond in St. Catherine, and talking to us about the impact of Star Virucide on her farming operation. All right, Sajae, let me come back to you. What current strategies are you all using, the Newport-Fersan Agronomists, to effectively manage plant viruses? Because it's more than just the product, Star Virucide. I understand it's a whole plan that you have.
Yes. We definitely have a plan in place, and let's take it from 3 points. Of course, you have to look at IPM, Integrated Pest Management, early application of Star Virucide from seedling stage, and a preventative or a proactive stand towards viral control. So when we talk of IPM, it's a comprehensive approach combining cultural, biological, and chemical methods to reduce the viral pressure on the plant. Cultural practices we encourage strict sanitation, crop rotation, weed control, in addition to the use of clean planting materials, as this is always highly recommended, right? The use of disease-free planting materials encourages viral resistance and tolerance. Chemical control, we will use targeted approach of the insecticides such as the sucker and the spectra, which can control some of your most popular vectors, which are the whiteflies and the aphids. From a nutritional standpoint, we will support the products, which will be the star, the sucker, with products such as the high yield package, which will boost the plant vigor and resilience during the stressful periods, which this is a part of the precise nutrient management system and the improved nutrient management system, which Mr. Welsh was speaking of earlier. Then we'll move to the early application of the Star Virucide from the seedling stage. Applying the Star Virucide early from the seedling stage is a practice aimed at early protection against the viral infection in crops. The benefits of this is that it prevents instead of aiming to cure. Applying at the seedling stage gives a preventative and protective response to the virus, which is always best. Growing up, we hear that prevention is better than cure, right? A stronger plant is what we want. So we'll protect the seedling, allowing for uninterrupted growth, resulting in more vigorous plants. Because we know that once the plant goes under stress, that yield that we should have gotten starts to go down from there. So as early as the plant begins to experience stress levels, then the yield that we're aiming for will not be able to get it. If most plants are protected at the early stage, it reduces the chance of virus spread across the field, as the farmer was hinting at before. The better yield outcomes are always expected when we do this strategy, right? When it comes to a preventative or proactive stance, this was being hinted at before, but we still want to dive into this because it's always best to prevent rather than to aim to cure. We start with clean planting material to minimize the initial viral load. We maintain good sanitation practices to reduce the inoculum or the inoculum source, meaning that a plant has the virus. We don't want that plant to be there and the virus being propagated or reproducing in that plant to spread. And we'll combine the Star Virucide with insecticides such as the sucker and the spectra, and also the nutritional products such as the high yield package, to form a holistic or a preventative package that controls the vector, inhibits the virus replication, and strengthens the plant immune system all in one, which will then push the plant to be able to reproduce and to bear as it should and get you that bumper crop that you're always seeking to attain.
Well, very important. They say an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Better to get it
Definitely.
right from the get-go. So if you're able to put in place what you need to on the farm to ward off the virus, and if it comes, then you know exactly what to do. Include not only Star Virucide in your plan, but you must have a working plan. Gentlemen, we're on the break. We're going to take that when we come back. I come back to you, Cleveland, to talk about the proper mixing and application techniques and how these can increase your chances for viral control. And then we'll reiterate the solutions that you shared earlier with us, Sajae. Let's take the break. All right, so we're rounding out our conversation this morning during Fersan in the Field on healthy crops, healthy harvests, combating viruses in crop production with us, Sajae Jones, agronomist for Manchester and St. Elizabeth, and Cleveland Welch, who is agronomist for St. Anne, St. Catherine, and Clarendon. And let me just go to Cleveland. Cleveland, how can proper mixing and application techniques increase your chances for viral control?
All right. So we as agronomists at Fersan, right, we always implore our farmers to practice what we call water conditioning, right? And what this really is really correcting the pH of the water, right, to the right pH range. Now, what pH really stands for? pH is a parameter referring to the potential of hydrogens, right? And this creates an environment which ranges from acidity to alkalinity. Now, as it relates to nutrient availability, right, it is observed that within the pH range of 5.5 to 6.5, right, which is a slightly acidic range, pH range, this pH range is ideal for nutrient uptake and nutrient absorption, right? Also, at this pH range, what you find is that the chemical composition of the products that you are creating a cocktail with, they are prevented from chemical breakdown once the water condition is within the right pH range, right? So if your water is not conditioned, and meaning that the concentration of ions is out of balance, once you put in your foliar fertilizers, supplements, your pesticides, right, that imbalance of the environment or the water itself will cause disruptions to the chemical structure of the products you intend to apply, right? So what we want to do is to condition for proper nutrient uptake and to also condition for the prevention of the chemical, the destruction of the chemical structure of the products that you're applying. And in this case, which should be your Star Virucide, right? Um, so in our approach towards water conditioning, right, what you will need is a pH meter, of course, and what we provide here at Newport-Fersan to assist with water conditioning is a product known as citric acid, right? So what the farmer should do is first test the water to see where your pH range is. So if it is out of range, you in terms of being alkaline, because most of our waters from our in the field testing are within the alkaline range. So the application of the citric acid will send the pH down to the levels where you would want it, right? And we assist in this conditioning. Should there be any difficulties in the pH falling too low or above, right? So there are ways to correct back the pH. And what we generally recommend is for farmers to apply quarter to half teaspoon of citric acid per 5 gallons of water. So once you go by that metric, it's very unlikely that you will fall way below range or out of range from your intended target pH range, right? So that's pretty much how we would go about conditioning our water, and that would essentially provide proper nutrient uptake and protecting the pesticides that you intend to apply to your crop.
And so, thank you so very much for that, Cleveland. Important information being provided this morning. And Sajae, your final task is just to reiterate very quickly or as quickly as you can the issues identified and the solutions you've put on the table.
All right. So what we want to have as a key takeaway from this for our farmers is that proper scouting is key in viral detection and prevention. We want to ensure that we are using clean planting material, and we want to ensure that we are sticking to IPM standards when we are doing this. So you want to ensure that you have sanitation of your field, crop rotation, your vector control, which can be done with your sucker or your spectra. You want to ensure that your nutrition is on point, which we always encourage doing soil testing to know where you are in terms of your nutrition, so you may apply the proper nutrients as needed when needed. We want to ensure that we are controlling the virus from the seedling stage using your Star Virucide as a part of your seedling care package. Moving into the field, we'll continue to use the Star Virucide at no more than 2 weeks apart. Then, when it comes on to your prevention, now you want to ensure that you're cleaning the field, removing those habitats for the vectors to stay in. You know that if you spray the field and you have around the field having your vegetation, unwanted vegetation around the field, then the vectors can go there and stay and then just move back into the field, reinfecting the field with the virus. And of course, whenever we are applying, as Mr. Welsh said before, we want to ensure that we are not just out there spraying to have a good time. We want to ensure that the active ingredients in your vector control is being protected, and the only way to do that is to ensure that the pH is adjusted to the recommended range, which is normally on the label, or you can ask our agronomists. You can always reach us and ask us what range should it be in, and we can come out and we can show you how to adjust it. Once you have those practices and measures being put into place, then it will be hard pressed for you to come under any heavy viral load or any viral load that will reduce your yield to those 20 to 40% losses that we see globally, resulting in those millions of dollars of losses being spread across the sector.
Well, as they say, who has ears, let them hear. You have both shared some Excellent information this morning. And then when you add to that the fact that we had great conversation as well with your guest farmer, Sharon Black, I think this allows individuals who are engaged in the practice of agriculture to do their own assessment of what is happening on their farm. And if they have these kinds of issues, then they know exactly what to do. So thank you both for this morning. Looking forward to our next conversation, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you for having us.
All right, take care. A pleasure. Sajae Jones, agronomist for Manchester and St. Elizabeth. He was joined this morning by Cleveland Walsh, and Cleveland is agronomist for St. Anne, St. Catherine, and Clarendon. We will take a word from our sponsors, and then we are going to wrap the show.
Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions, was brought to you by Newport-Fersan Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.